ergonomics class. You've heard it from us over and over how your health and the results that you can expect in our office is a direct representation of breaking the bad habits that aggravate your problems, right? We understand that we can give you 100% chiropractic care. We can teach you spine stabilizing exercises, but we only see you for 60 to 90 minutes a week. There are 10,065 other minutes in the week where you have the opportunity, the need to take care of your spine. Otherwise, it's all for nothing. And much, if not the majority of those minutes, are spent sitting, at work, at the computer, on the couch, in your car. So what I plan to talk to you about in this video are those habits that are causing so many of the problems we see in our office. Why that's important to you, what those habits are, and how to decrease the stress you place on your body all day long. Does this sound good? So this is a discussion of ergonomics. Ergonomics, by definition, is a discipline concerned with how the humans interact with their environment in order to optimize human well-being and performance. What does that sound like? Does that sound like chiropractic care? Who wants to optimize their well-being and performance? Man, I do, and I'm sure you do as well. What you've heard from us throughout your experience in our office is that symptoms are signals from your body of a bigger problem. From now on, let's focus on reducing the physical stress to your body and structure by improving your ergonomics and correcting the problems that are causing your symptoms. Our bodies tell us what's going on with rapid feedback throughout our day. So how well are you listening to your body? It may be telling you things already through dry, itchy eyes, shallow breathing, fatigue, stiffness, numbness, aches, pains, discomfort, stress, exhaustion, all of which are decreasing your happiness at work and at home and decreasing the quality of your life. We are under attack. Our bodies are talking to us. Are you listening? So why do we touch on this? Why is this important to you? Over the years, we forget to move. We grow up, go to schools, get jobs. Before we know it, we sit for many hours. So we sit hours on end, days on end, years on end. We shift, squirm, groan. Today our bodies are breaking down from obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, depression, and the cascade of health ills and everyday sickness that come from what scientists have named sitting disease. Sleeping, sitting at work, watching TV, leisure time, computer at home, eating. It adds up to about 21 sedentary hours a day for the average American, with only 3 hours for being active. We are sitting up to 13 hours a day, and research suggests that it's wreaking havoc on our health. An Australian study reveals that sitting at work leads to more sitting at home and eventually obesity. Don't we want a healthy, vibrant workforce? Don't we want to be one of them? A New Zealand study shows that workers who sat for long periods of time were more likely to get deep vein thrombosis. Researchers from the University of Queensland found that for every hour a person sits watching TV, life expectancy drops 22 minutes. This is the equivalent of smoking 2 cigarettes in terms of its impact on health and mortality. Sitting is the new smoking. So again, why is this important? Your job is literally killing you. You need to do something about it. Improved workplace ergonomics means less stress on your body, more energy, more focus, and most importantly, a longer lifespan. Daily exercise is not enough to counteract excessive sitting. If you're physically inactive, you're at a significant risk. And if you're physically active, you're still at a high risk. Key fat burners shut off the minute we sit. Every 2 hours spent just sitting reduces blood flow, raises blood sugar, and drops good cholesterol levels by 20%. Excessive sitting is cited as the key risk factor in 4 of the 7 top U.S. killers, including heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and some cancers. It is also linked to obesity and early mortality rates, regardless of how much exercise a sitter gets. Healthy employees are productive employees. They incur lower healthcare costs. They miss fewer work days. They work better, harder, and smarter when they're at work. As much as 77% of an office work day is spent sitting in front of a computer, twisting our body into weird Tetris blocks, for the most part unmoving on chairs. That much sitting causes stress. Stress disturbs the body's homeostasis, which is the body's natural balanced state. The stressed body leaves itself open to attack. And this is what we're seeing. How many of you look like this at work? 1/4 of the U.S. workforce thinks pain and symptoms are just part of having a job. Things like headaches, neck soreness, shoulder stiffness, back pain, carpal tunnel syndrome, eye strain. These are just some of the physical body signals everyone is experiencing. The way we work, how we live our lives, is consistently and progressively breaking down our structure and the nerve system it protects. And this is just the physical stress of how we spend 40+ hours a week. What about the mental stress, the emotional stress, the chemical stress of a toxic, deficient lifestyle? We won't go into that in this video. There'll be a time for that, but this all affects the function of our nervous system. And as you know, your nervous system is your master system. That means it runs everything. Your brain is in constant communication with all your tissues, organs, and organ systems. And all of these systems are always talking back to the brain. All of that communication takes place across these nerves. It's that exchange of information that keeps your body functioning properly and how all healing happens. That's what keeps you upright. It's how your body digests your lunch and how your body knows how to build healthy cells and where those nutrients need to go. It has kept you alive your entire life. It is healing you as you sit here. It will heal you as you sleep tonight. It will wake you up in the morning, and all of that info courses across the nervous system. The nervous system, that exchange of information, is what keeps your body healthy and healing. Your spinal column is designed to last you a lifetime, provided your structure is in a healthy position. If you look at the spine straight away, it should be straight up and down. It's like a straw. Looking at it from the side, it should have these curves. These curves act like a spring. The spine has 24 vertebrae and 24 joints. Each joint is made up of 2 vertebrae and a disc. These discs are not shock absorbers, they're spacers. Your curves are your shock absorbers, so biomechanically, this is what your spine is supposed to look like. As long as that spine is in a good position like that, it will protect these discs. And discs are spacers for nerve roots to feed the body, so as long as those curves stay healthy, those discs stay healthy. They're fat and they're parallel. Because they're spacers that provide plenty of room for the nerves to breathe and feed the body. All working well unless you experience some kind of trauma to the spine. And trauma can be obvious. Slips and falls, car accidents, sports traumas. It's more likely to be caused by chronic bad posture. When there's some type of bad habit or trauma, life, and all this comes together, the spine loses its healthy position. Like I said, trauma makes sense to everybody. But what do we do to our spines all day? First, you lay in bed in the morning, probably lying on your stomach, so you turn your head so you can breathe. That turning pulls the curve out of your spine. Or you lay on your back and you push it up with pillows. Then you sit up, go downstairs, read over breakfast, brush your teeth, go to the car, drive to work, sit at the computer all day, bang your head against the computer all day, get back in the car, sit on the couch and watch TV or sit at the computer. We wonder why everyone's having such a hard time with this. It looks nothing like the spine is supposed to look like. It's important to emphasize that ergonomics is not a cut and dry application. In fact, there's no magic answer. General biomechanical principles must be realized and applied appropriately to specific tasks, accommodating any special needs of the patient. So here's the ideal posture for all positions and the best standing posture. This is the strongest and most stable position for your spine to be in so that you prevent degenerative arthritis ever starting and remove chronic physical stress on the spine, spinal cord, and nerves. From the front, your eyes, your ears, and your hips should be level with a line that bisects you into 2 equal halves. And from the side, your ear, shoulder, hip joint, knees, and ankles should lie on a vertical line. Now here's a tip. Throughout the day, use a wall or a door to check your posture. Back your heels to the wall, and the toes should be pointing forward with your knees in line with your toes. Press your butt into the wall and roll your shoulders back so that your shoulder blades are flat against the wall and your thumbs are pointing forward. Pull your head back to the wall so that it barely touches, and tilt your head up so that your jawline or your chin is parallel to the ground. Now everybody's favorite, sleeping posture. The best sleeping posture is on your back with a contoured pillow or neck support. You can use a towel, a pool noodle, or anything that's going to help put that curve in your neck. Place a bolster or pillow under the knees to reduce your low back strain. Now the next best position is on your side, with your ears, shoulders, hips aligned vertically, and a slight bend in the knees for balance. You should be able to still draw a center line down the front of your body, dividing it into 2 equal halves. Avoid tilting or twisting of the head, shoulders, or hips. And place a pillow between your knees. Now finally, one that's a big no-no. Never, ever, ever sleep on your stomach with your head turned to one side. This torques your spine and your spinal cord. Now here's a tip. Try to find some conforming mattress that supports the natural curves of your spine and eliminates some of those variables. Now remember, sitting is the posture that we spend too much time doing, and we want to do increasingly less of it. But I'm going to go over some healthier sitting recommendations. When sitting, you want your jawline parallel to the floor, which means your head over your shoulder directly over your hips. Push your hips as far back into the seat as you can and make sure you have something supporting your low back by pushing it forward. Your hips should be higher than your knees, meaning your thighs should be angled downward towards your knees. Your feet should be flat on the floor. It is best to sit out away from the back support so that your back isn't even touching the back of the chair. This forces you to hold your posture correctly without relying on the back of the chair. There are several benefits to doing this. Number one, you're using your core stability muscles now to hold yourself in the right position so you're getting stronger. Number two, this loads the discs and prepares them for when you get up and are weight bearing. And number three, you're firing more muscles and therefore increasing metabolism. It is also a good idea to sit on the wobble cushion you've been provided or an exercise ball. This added instability just increases those three benefits, plus allows you to get extra motion in the discs and tissues of the spine for added hydration and mobility. When you are sitting in a different environment like your car or the couch or anywhere else, these same concepts apply. Just try to adjust your seating or use supports and or pillows to achieve the ideal sitting posture. Now that we know how to sit and stand properly, we can add the other components to a healthy workstation. It is highly recommended that you have a standing workstation or a variable sit-stand workstation over a sitting-only workstation. There are a lot of cost-efficient standing workstations on Amazon, as well as companies like Veridesk that provide great options. With a standing workstation, you should be standing in the correct standing position, meaning jaw parallel to the floor, head back over the shoulders, shoulders over your hips, and your hips back over your ankles so that if you look down, you can see the front part of your feet. If your hips are too far forward, you won't even be able to see your feet. It's also a good idea to have a small footstool that you can rest one foot at a time to relieve tension on the low back for longer periods of standing. It is also preferred to have a compressive mat to stand on when your workstation is on a harder surface. Your shoulders and traps should be relaxed in the keyboard position so that your arms are relaxed by your side and bent 90 degrees at the elbow. There should be very minimal bend in the wrist, if at all. Your monitor should be directly in front of you and raised so that the bottom third of the monitor is at the eye level or even higher. This forces you to look up slightly, which relaxes the muscles, ligaments, and the spinal cord. Your monitor should be big enough and at a distance that you don't have to squint, strain, or lean in to see it. The same goes for your TV. Raise it up too. With a sitting workstation, the recommendations are the same as the standing workstation. We would just substitute the proper sitting recommendations with the proper standing recommendations. Laptops are increasingly more popular to use as primary workstations, but they offer little to no ergonomic benefits. Due to their size, they make it very difficult to stick to good ergonomics while using them. But if you have to, you can get a wireless keyboard and mouse and connect your laptop to a larger monitor. Laptops have their place, and that is to be convenient and portable and used in small doses. But if you have to use it for your main workstations, make these two changes to improve your ergonomics and reduce the chronic stress on your body. Okay, now let's talk about your smartphones and tablets. This is the reason for the newest and fastest growing diagnoses in healthcare, TextNet. That's right, there's an actual diagnosis for what you do on your phone all day. And it's causing degenerative arthritis in kids as early as 8 years old. So I think it's only appropriate to address this issue. If you need an example, just look around you the next time you're somewhere there's a group or gathering of people. I'd be willing to bet the majority of them are looking down at their smartphones at any given time. So the best way to address this is to throw your phone away. Just kidding. I know you won't do that, so here's the best way to use your phone so that you too won't become a statistic suffering from this new epidemic. Hold your phone with both hands, just relax your shoulders, rest your elbows against your torso, and bring your phone up to eye level. Or you can hold your phone with one hand, rest your shoulders, and rest your elbow in the hand that is grasping your phone in the palm of your free hand. Now, bring the phone up to eye level without strain. Now simply use your eyes just to look down at the phone and not your head. Now, even though this is a better way to use your phone and tablet, usage should still be kept in small doses. Now we're going to talk about lifting. This goes for lifting anything. Proper lifting techniques should be practiced for everything from the weight of a pen to something heavier like kids or even dumbbells. Everyone has probably heard at some time in their life that you're supposed to lift with your legs. This is only partly correct. The most important thing is that you're lifting with a strong and stable low back and spine. As long as you can maintain the curve in your low back and keep your head over your shoulders while lifting, you're less likely to injure the most susceptible part of your body while bending and lifting, your low back. Always bend at the hips versus the low back. If you have to bend over, however, it is better to walk up to the object you're lifting and make sure that you're accenting the strong low back curve. Then bend your legs, and if you have to hinge at the hips to grab the object, this is how the legs come into play, but most important is keeping that natural curve in your low back. There may be situations where you're not able to use your legs, such as lifting kids out of the car or groceries out of the trunk, or anything else where you can't walk over the object. Make sure to keep your low back curved or extended. Hinge at the waist and pull the object as closely to you as possible before lifting. Practicing these ergonomic recommendations will help to remove a lot of the bad habits that are contributing to a large majority of the conditions we're treating in our office, and that maybe you and your family are suffering from. If you'd like more information on what beds, desks, chairs, or any other ergonomic recommendations, just let us know the next time you're in the office and we can point you in the right direction. And thank you again for helping me be the doctor that makes people stronger.